Listen.
If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now, sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet in all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet. From what I saw and from what I've heard, what I've read, I still say the same thing I've always been saying. I don't deviate from what I'm saying. Once I find out the situation that black people are in worldwide, we are in a world prison. The name of that prison is called the system of white supremacy. And what does that mean? It means if you're a person who is classified as non-white, black, brown, red, yellow, tan, beige, in other words, a person who has color in his or her skin, sometimes referred to as a person of color. And a person of color in the system of white supremacy, which is what I say is a world government, the only world government that really counts, the world government that has the most muscle, the world government that governs how everybody is going to behave on this planet from minute to minute every day. That is a prison for the non-white people. And the non-white people, in my opinion, of this planet must realize that they're in prison, that all of the people who are breathing now on this planet are in the system of white supremacy, and the system of white supremacy is a prison for the non-white people of the planet, and those prisoners are the non-white people of this planet. They are the people who are born in prison, and with all of the rules of the prison of war, of a prisoner of war, they apply to the non-white people. Just look up all the rules that govern, if you are a prisoner of war, the rules that govern you as a prisoner of war. All right? That's the way I choose to look at it, because I think that's exactly the way that it is. Now, just because I'm saying that that's the way it is, it may not be that way. Some people have used the word perception, say, well, Neely Fuller perceives it that way. But just because he perceives it that way doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So I say that it's true, because that's how I perceive it. I don't want to perceive it that way, but I think I'm forced to perceive it that way based on the things that happen. Because from what I understand from, I've never been a so-called prisoner of war. I mean, like you see in the movies and all like that. But like when I look at things like the movie Schindler's List, or I read about World War II and prisoners of war who were shot down over Germany, I mean, and what the prison conditions were like. And I read about the Japanese who were in this area of the world who were rounded up on the West Coast and put into stockades and barracks out in the middle of the deserts in different places and whatnot. I mean, people of Japanese ancestry. And there were guards with rifles standing around, bayonets fixed. I've seen pictures of that. And the indication is you go for that fence. Now, there's a fence around this place, all right? And the rules of this prison, you're prisoners of war because we're in a war. Now, if you go anywhere near that fence, the rule is we don't ask you any questions. Why are you near the fence? You're dead. And if you touch that fence, it looks like you're going through that fence. In other words, you're getting out of this prison. You're trying to flee. If we get any indication, I've heard about all prisoner of war rules, any indication that you're trying to run away, and I don't want you to run away, and you are determined that you are going to run away, I'm going to kill you. That's it. Now, I'm saying, according to the code, what I have written, we're prisoners of war. And every black person should expect, if a white person says, stay right where you are, do what I tell you to do, or I'm going to do harm to you, you must assume that as a prisoner of war, that harm means you're going to be dead. This is no game. This is not some kind of little falling out among friends. You're a prisoner of war, black fella. You are a prisoner of war. You're born in prison. Now, you are my prisoner if I'm a white supremacist. Not all white people, but the white supremacist voice says, you are my prisoner. You do what I say do, when I say do it. You come when I say come. You go when I say go. Now, anytime you break any of those laws of this prison, as an inmate of this prison, I'm going to gun you down, and I'm going to tell you something else. You don't know anybody big enough and bad enough to do anything about it. So why would you do something stupid like that? Like walk away from me, and I told you, don't walk away. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't walk away from me. Don't run away from me. Don't act like I'm not your boss, because I am your boss. And you'll find all kinds of bullets or whatever, cannon fire, whatever. I mean, a cannon shell might hit you. You talking about some bullets. I got stuff that'll hit you. I mean, that'll, hey, they'll send a real message. I got every kind of bomb that you can name. I'm an expert bomb maker. You think that you can just walk away from me and say that you're on your way back to wherever you're going, your grandmother's house, or back to the hood where you'll be safe? You're not safe nowhere from me if I want you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have proven that to you and every last one of your ancestors. Now, somebody needs to teach you that. Your grandmother or somebody needs to teach you, hey, don't fuss, don't fight, don't flee.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a prison camp.
Yes, sir.
Go anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Outside the limits that I told you not to go. You're dead. And you're going to continue. And all the rest of you out here who got candles and marches and all like that, you tried. And you're going to be dead. Now, if you don't believe it, try it in the next 5 minutes and see, don't you get the same thing. And I'm going to tell you something else. You think that rioting and all like that is going to get you something. We don't care nothing about riots. I mean, we repair houses and rebuild houses even when a flood wipes out an entire city. You think you can tear up enough to change our minds? You don't know anything about how we operate.
Yes.
We run whole planets.
Yes, sir.
You can't even run a grocery store. So do what we tell you to do when we tell you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Negro. Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it,
and came right out of the book. The material did. They say that they better understood it. And I can understand that because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.